Hi, everyone, and thank you for being here today. I'm Tian Hao, and I'm really excited to welcome you all to the first OneAI Global Youth Conference 2025. We're extremely excited to welcome such a diverse group of participants today, including students from grade 5 all the way to grade 11, along with parents and educators. Many of you are preparing for national and international AI Olympiads, and we hope that today's sessions will be insightful and inspiring as you continue your journey in AI. We're proud to be welcoming participants from Canada, the United States, China, the UK, and Africa. Thank you for being part of this global community of young innovators. We will start with a short video.
The winners of this year's Nobel Prize in Physics have been announced. American John Hopfield and Canadian Geoffrey Hinton are the recipients of the award for their discoveries and inventions in the field of machine learning. Let's listen to why the Nobel Prize committees chose these particular winners.
Thank you. Its discoveries and inventions form the building blocks of learning.
This year's Nobel Prize in Chemistry went to three scientists, David Baker, John Jumper, and Demis Hassabis, for their groundbreaking work using artificial intelligence to advance biomedical and protein research. The AI model they developed, called AlphaFold, uses databases with hundreds of thousands of protein structures and millions of protein sequences to predict and even design protein structures, speeding up a months or years-long process to mere hours or even minutes. AlphaFold was rolled out just 4 years ago and has since been cited in scientific studies more than 20,000 times.
Visual spatial intelligence is so fundamental. It's as fundamental as language. We've got these ingredients: compute, deeper understanding of data, and we've got some advancement of algorithms. We are in the right moment to really make a bet and to focus and just unlock that.
Here's why I'm so optimistic about AI. If you look across society today, one of the most expensive things is intelligence. It's very expensive to hire a skilled doctor to advise us in medical condition, or hire a skilled tutor to patiently coach our children in the ways that they may need help. Because it costs a lot to train and feed a wise human being, which is why it takes a lot of resources to provide schooling or good healthcare. I don't think it'll be easy to make human intelligence cheap, but we can make artificial intelligence cheap.
Artificial intelligence is set to reshape our workplaces.
What does this mean for my job? Am I going to have a job? Will my children have jobs?
Companies are itching to incorporate AI into their systems. But are we really ready for it?
So 2/3 of our desk worker population are still not using this technology.
Do you think there will be another revolution that affects the world as much as the agricultural revolution did?
Yeah, we are living in the midst of one, and this is the AI revolution. In the agricultural revolution, what happened is that humans learned to control other animals and plants. And now we are creating something, AI, that might control us in the same way that we previously controlled the cows.
Building community in AI is super important. None of us succeed alone, and the technology, the ecosystem is so complicated. I think all of us do better together. So I'm happy to see us working to build community, because I think the global AI community, we will do better if we all collaborate and do great things together.
Curious, connected, courageous. This is more than just another tech talk. This is a global movement. This is OneAI.
The winners of this year's Nobel
Over the past 2 years, AI has advanced at an unprecedented pace, reaching what some describe as a technological singularity, a point where innovation is accelerating beyond traditional expectations. We've witnessed the rise of powerful large language models like ChatGPT and DeepSeek, which have transformed how we interact with technology, learn, and create content. Meanwhile, in the world of robotics, progress has been just as exciting. Boston Dynamics' Atlas robot can now perform extreme parkour with incredible precision, while Unitree's H1 humanoid robot stunned audiences with a live performance during China's Spring Festival Gala, showcasing how AI is blending into real-life entertainment and motion. In science, AI continues to break new ground. AlphaFold 3 is revolutionizing biology by predicting complex protein structures with astonishing accuracy, potentially accelerating drug accuracy. At the same time, in transportation, Waymo's self-driving cars have completed over 1 million rides in cities like San Francisco and Phoenix, showing that autonomous vehicles are no longer just experiments. They're becoming part of daily life. In 2024, the Nobel Prizes in Physics and Chemistry were awarded to AI scientists. AI isn't just transforming industries anymore, it's starting to reshape the very foundations of scientific research. We're even seeing AI-generated papers being accepted at top conferences like ICLR, and people are beginning to ask, are AI scientists being born? While we're excited by the opportunities AI brings, we're also deeply aware of this change it brings to learning, work, and society. Geoffrey Hinton, one of the pioneers and godfathers of AI, has warned us again and again about the risks and challenges ahead. So, will AI surpass humanity? Standing at the intersection of human wisdom and machine intelligence, we realize now more than ever, it's critical to understand AI, collaborate with it, and ensure we develop AI that truly benefits humanity. Recognizing this challenge, OneAI was created to empower youth through AI. We are a global community of students brought together by a shared mission to explore, understand, and create with AI. While AI development and access to education vary widely across countries and regions, we aim to go beyond just the technologies and competitions. We care deeply about the kind of future AI is shaping for individuals, for communities, and for the world. OneAI Youth is a student-led nonprofit organization founded in Toronto, Canada, with the goal of making AI education more accessible and inclusive for teenagers all across the world. We provide hands-on learning opportunities, foster innovation through collaborative projects, and work to close the global gap in AI knowledge and resources. Today, OneAI Youth has grown into an international organization with chapters and participants in Canada, the US, China, the UK, Africa, and more. We are proud to be led by and for youth from around the world, building a platform that bridges borders, shares resources, and uplifts voices in the AI space. Our vision is simple but bold: a world where every young person has the opportunity to learn and use AI responsibly to improve society. Though our beginnings may be small, our purpose is global. One AI, one world. We would also like to extend our heartfelt thanks to our incredible sponsors and partners, Beaver Edge AI, the Olympiad School, Tech Together, AI for Youth, Sister Sophie, and the Northeastern University. We would like to thank them for their generous support in making this event possible. We are also deeply grateful to our university mentors from Harvard, Princeton, UCLA, and Rice, whose continued encouragement has been invaluable. A special thanks goes to the AI experts and professors who have guided us along the way. And in particular, we would like to express our sincere appreciation to today's two keynote speakers, Professor Chin and Professor Chen, for sharing their expertise and inspiring us all. Now, let's welcome the OneAI global team to introduce themselves.
Hi, everyone. I'm Alex, and I'm from OneAI. I'm a grade 9 student at Crescent School. And it's such a great honor to gather here today with young AI enthusiasts from all around the world for the OneAI Global Youth AI Conference. Now, as AI rapidly evolves with terms like algorithms, models, data, computing power, machine learning, neural networks, and deep learning entering our daily vocabulary, we're excited to explore these technologies together. OneAI, as a reminder, will hold monthly AI workshops as an open learning platform where we will explore AI tools and share knowledge with all the students that are interested in AI. Please feel free to join us, whether as a learner, a volunteer, or as a mentor, and help us spread the power of technology.
Hi everyone, I'm Dylan, also from OneAI. I'm a grade 10 student moving to Westminster School next year. This conference brings together friends from many countries and regions. I'm based in the UK, and our global network will continue to support this growing community. I'm especially passionate about how AI is accelerating scientific discovery in biomedicine, material science, and climate modeling. AI for Science, AI for S, is one of AI's most promising paths forward. If you're a high school student with some AI knowledge and want to explore scientific innovation with AI, we'd love for you to join us. Sign up via email to become part of OneAI's research team.
Hello, everyone. I'm Daniel, and I'm also part of the OneAI team. I'm in grade 11 at Upper Canada College, and I started doing VEX robotics in grade 5, so I share a passion for robotics along many other students around the world. With AI's rapid development, embodied AI is becoming one of the most hottest and most promising fields, combining AI with the physical world through robotics, autonomous vehicles, and more. 2025 is even being called the year of embodied intelligence, as AI integrates vision, touch, and motion control for smarter physical interactions. So because of that, we're forming an AI robotics team this year, and we'll be exploring a series of fun and innovative projects. And if any of you are interested, join us by email to become of the OneAI robotics team.
Hi, everyone. I'm Chen Yu, a grade 11 student at St. Andrews College, and I'm the co-founder of Tech Together, an organization I started to help young people explore AI and robotics together, and a partner of OneAI. I'm really excited to be here at OneAI to talk about something I've been passionate about for years, artificial intelligence, especially in the field of robotics. Through my experience in VEX robotics, I've seen firsthand how AI can take innovation to the next level, from improving how robots navigate the world to making them more responsive and adaptable. It's amazing to be part of a community that's pushing the boundaries of what AI could do. I'm so excited to be here, and I look forward to learning from all of you and sharing my journey as well. Before we begin, I'd like to mention that Tech Together is proud to sponsor a giveaway as part of today's event. Following each panel discussion, there will be a prize draw with Professor Qin and Professor Chen, with 3 lucky winners from each giveaway. This is meant to support everyone in this conference to pursue curiosity regarding AI.
Thank you, everyone, for your introductions. And as Chenyu previously mentioned, we're excited to offer $25 gift cards as an AI learning funding to help support your AI journey. There will be 2 rounds of giveaways with 3 winners announced after each panel. So make sure to scan the QR code to enter the raffle, which will be on the slideshow throughout our presentation. And don't miss your chance to win. Now let's move on to our first keynote session. We're honored to welcome a truly inspiring speaker to kick off our panels. Please join me in welcoming Professor Qin, a visiting scholar at Carnegie Mellon University, UC Berkeley, and Oxford. And he is also a special judge at the ISIF International Science Fair and the leading young AI scientist in China. Today, he'll be sharing insights on how young students can embrace AI learning, a topic that's especially relevant for all of us here. And following his talk, he'll be joined by Alex and Daniel, 2 representatives from OneAI, for a conversation and Q&A. Let's give a warm welcome to Professor Qin.
Hello, everyone, and thank Qianhao for inviting me, and thank you the OneAI. So I'm going to share my my screen first, okay? All right, so I assume everybody can see the slides, right? Okay. Let me play that. Okay. I think I have like 15 to 20 minutes. So it's very inspired and also very excited to join this event. I think, artificial intelligence is so important in today's society, for society and technology. So I'm very excited to see, young people are so engaged into the artificial intelligence. So today I'm going to share some of my thoughts about how artificial intelligence and education. So the title is Hug AI in the Future. We have some hope and the challenges. And I'm going to talk about 4 things: the power of the creation and innovation of using the AI, and how can we use the AI as a tool for communication, especially the creation, and what's the future for artificial intelligence in education, and how AI can make learning so interesting for young people. So the first of all, the power of the AI in creation. So as we mentioned, you can see that, for the past few years, artificial intelligence is not only one area of the research and the technology. It has very influential power of all the branches of the science and the technology. And AI can be like a tool for human being to understand the nature better. So as far as we understand about the science, after Newton, so we use the mathematical equations trying to describe how nature works. But you can see part of ourselves, for example, human are also part of the nature, but it's very hardly to find any equations to describe how we think, our emotions, or our intelligence. So, intelligence, human intelligence also a part of the nature. How can we use the mathematical idea to interpret how we think, how the information has been processed in our brains? So this is actually, we can see the human effort for understanding the artificial intelligence. And that can give us more creation. So first of all, let's think about how AI can help in our education for young people. The first of all, when we consider, we have some new ideas. It's very hard to transform our ideas into real world product or prototypes. And the coding and artificial intelligence so far can empower the young people to transform some very abstract ideas into tangible prototypes. We can see a lot of such examples, right? We can see how math work. We can draw the graph to see how it works. And also we can using the AI to enhance the creativity and the innovation. Using the AI, so the people can combine different elements and styles, trying to push the boundary of their creativity. So when we consider about the creativity, the human being has a very tremendous capability of the memorizing a lot of things. But more amazing is that our brain can fabricate some facts from our brain. So if you fabricate your memories in a very logical way, sometimes we call it a creation. For example, the iPhone, it never been seen in the, for anyone, but the Steve Jobs got the prototype, got the whole idea in the brain, and they actually using the Apple company to make their his prototype into the real phone, right? So another thing is we can foster the self-learning and the project-based learning. So AI can guide the young people to do the self-learning. So I think everybody has tried the large language models. So they can guide you and follow your idea to give you more new ideas that we can enable everyone to work independently, also in a very small group. So I think that AI is so powerful. And also, we may consider education for the new age of the artificial intelligence. So we need some new model for what is being talented. So we need to have some basic training for AI literacy. And so far, I think not all the young people are get very close contact to the artificial intelligence. So I think the basic AI training is also very essential for the kids, especially in some developing countries. So for people to understand and use the AI tool very effectively, they can build very strong foundation for future learning. And using the AI, so we need to develop some computational thinking. This is actually the idea, try to solve the complex problem. How can we decompose very complex problem into different sub-problems? So I think everybody needs to learn how to break down the problems, and also we need to have the skill, have a very powerful mental set. And also we need to emphasizing the importance of the mathematics. All the human knowledge, not all, maybe over 90% of the human knowledge is stored into the languages, right? But the part of also on some other knowledges like music and art in different forms. So with the large language models, I think the machine can do much better in editing the text and the languages. So that's why as a human being, we should understand something more than that. Maybe, for example, the mathematics. The mathematical idea is the key, I think, in the age of the artificial intelligence. It is also the backbone of the AI algorithms.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I think there
Sure.
might be an issue with your slideshow as
Really?
we can't see, we only see the title page right now.
Really? Okay. Let me resharing, okay? Maybe I just need to share the my desktop,
You
right?
may have been sharing the wrong slide.
Yeah, I think I just clicked the slides itself, but not the whole desktop. Can you see that?
Yeah, that works now. Thank you so much.
All right. Okay, great. Okay. So yeah, we're just finishing this page. And so AI also can work as a frontier exploration tool. So we were learning. So basically, this is like the explore your edge, your frontier of your knowledge. So artificial intelligence can help kids to access and understanding the cut-edge knowledges. So it can provide very complex fields like science and the technology. And also in your field or other field you are not very familiar with, you can get very nice, expert knowledge using these large models. And the second thing is also the AI can foster the self-learning and also the curiosity. Even have in the age of the information retrieval, we have the search engines. Actually, the whole world knowledge is in front of us, and we can use the search engine to do a lot of searching and understanding. A lot of the knowledge. So from that area, so knowledge is becoming cheaper and cheaper. But with the new AI technology, this knowledge thing can become even more cheap. So even the teacher is not that sparse resources. So in our traditional education, the teacher is sparse resources. But right now, because I would think maybe in the future, the students are very sparse resources because the teaching knowledge is so cheap. So AI can encourage kids to be curious and self-motivated. So we can use these models trying to, validate our idea and to see in a better way of learning and what is the path to lead to some, new thoughts or something. So that AI can foster, the self-learning and the curiosity. And the third point is the bridging the gap between the knowledge and applications. So the AI can, bridge up our theoretical knowledge and about the math and coding into the real world applications. So for the past, about 10 years, coding and information science technology becomes so important because we can just, build our ideas into protoform, into applications like a software and app. And AI can do that in like no time, right? So this is a new idea. This is like a new opportunity for young kids to, to realize their concepts with a very in a very cheap labor. So this is actually we would say how to gap the knowledge and application. And I'm also like to talk about some communication is and the creation. And as far as we know, Chen Hao placed the video about Harari. So Harari also mentioned that why the human race actually dominate the world, because the human race individually they're intelligent, but they can also collaborate in a very large scale. But how can the human being collaborate in a very large scale? Because of the communication, right? So the AI can facilitate more collaboration and the sharing. So for example, if we have the platform for like AI platform to enable the kids to collaborate and share the idea very easily, and they can also work on the project all together, just like the OneAI is doing right now. And also, they can also help people to enhancing the verbal and the visual communication. And because AI can generate a lot of contents, so we have the AI GC, so we can basically create and our presentations, designs, and the videos in just a few words. So that can, enhance our communication and make the communication more effectively. And later on, so that in the AI is also considered to be the future of the communication. If we're talking about the cyberspace and the metaverse, So in the future, if we have the metaverse, the AI technology maybe just like act, the AI agent can act like your assistant, so they can help you or representing you to do the communication in the cyberspace, and that will make everybody's communicating more effectively. For example, maybe when you're sleeping and your agent can representing you to talk to someone, maybe posting some new ideas or making some transactions or whatever. So that can help in the communication in a way to help the human to have more creativity. And talking about the creation, and AI is still, using the coding and the intuitive design. So AI can simplify the coding for kids, and it doesn't mean we don't need to learn the coding anymore. But the thing is, we can actually shorten our time to learning the coding, and we can use the AI as a coding tool, and can help us to, have more underlying logical thinking skills. And just I mentioned, so AI can help us to create multimedia content, and that will make our work more productive. So we can generate our animations and the videos and the images or interactive stories. And in the metaverse world, so we can use AI as an avatar and to have more effective communication and to have more creative project or tasks. So this is the AI in creation. And now let's talk about a little bit about the future of the education. Just as I mentioned before, so the education is a part of our technological development. Every time we have the technological revolution, so education will have a different kind of so we need to reshape the education. So in the early stage of the AI education, this actually we are right now. So we just realized the importance of using the AI technology in education, but there is still a lot of space and opportunities. We can use the AI and education into some new form of education, just like, for example, to say we can have one-to-one teacher and into inner cyberspace. So far, we can do with large language models, but only in text exchange. But maybe in the future, and I think very soon, we will have like a digital teacher, and the teacher will like to serve you, to understand you, to know what is going on and your study progress, and it can provide you the best knowledge and the best ideas, and trying to let you know, to explore your knowledges and trying to build something your own. And that will be like a great helper for your study. And also, and for the future, possibly there will be more different kind of AI applications, right? And that includes your, a study assessment, curriculum design, and also some teacher support. So AI can help us to bridge the gap between different learning styles and abilities, and making education more inclusive. And one thing I need to mention about education is, so far the development of AI technology in different areas, and people kind of worry they will, AI will take their jobs, and there will be more job they will be given to AI and the robots. But in the education area, on the contrary, I think that will be more and more people in the education, because we, in different areas, AI will engage, and there will be more people or human resources will be released. I think the education will be a very nice area to absorb these resources, because, in education, we need the temperature, we need the human attention. So that is actually different from other, for example, manufacturing or information technology. So we can use the AI to do the manufacturing, to do the coding, but we need a human to do some education. Of course, the AI can help you with the knowledge, but I think each students, they need some support from the teacher, from the human teacher. So that, I think, in the future, there will be different kind of tools in education designed by AI, but possibly there will be more, and the human teachers will be involved to give you more care and support to make the education more effectively and make the students more happy and more enjoyable in the study, not in like a current state, right? And also, the third point is preparing the technological advancement. So I think as the AI technology advances, the education must keep pace, and this involves continuous updates, different of the curriculum and the teacher training. So I think the kids should be prepared with the rapid change of this AI technology, and we need to, to maintain all the skills like our verbal skills and the coding, and that's, that, and also different kind of how can I say, how keep our curiosity, and this is something AI cannot do for us. So we keep something like the human skills, and we use the AI technology to help us to going further. And AI can help building a very strong foundation. So I think all the basic training for the kids are kind of a compulsory. It can help to develop very fundamental skills, and then especially the computational thinking, the mathematical thinking, critical thinking. So we can consider the world in a very quantitative way. And the second thing I need to mention about encouraging the ethical use of the AI, just Qinghao also mentioned, and Geoffrey Hinton mentioned there's a lot of risks about the AI technology, and maybe one day, and the AI can have another, side effect. Maybe we lost the control of our society to AI or something like that. I think everybody is kind of worried about it. But there are a lot of things more than the future sci-fi. There is something more realistic. For example, like the racial bias of using the AI, and also the data privacy. A lot of things basically. So how can we use AI in a very good manner? That's really start from the education. So AI is also a tool. Just this a tool like all the our manufactured tools. That's the same, but we need to using this way and consider our ethics, and we need to understand the responsibility of using the AI and what kind of impact this AI technology can have to your to your neighbors, to your surrounding communities, and also to the society. So that's need a lot of discussions. They need a lot of different kind of rules building in laws and regulations. But we need to keep in mind that using AI, we must have some limitation. We must have some boundaries. And later on, we say AI can inspire the future innovators. This is actually the dream of a human being. So we need to design different kind of tools to make a human to go further and further. I think AI education can inspire kids, every kids, to be like a scientist, to consider something like a scientist, and to do something like artist, and also design everything a very in a very organizing way. So that's because the AI can provide a lot of assistance using the cheap technology, and everyone in the future maybe have a lot of AI assistant help you to do the communication, to do the interpretation. Maybe some people can give you the best ideas and to finishing something, whatever. So that will foster a culture of the innovation, and everybody to think yourself as a leader of something. When I mean something, it's your AI agent. So that is the education. We need some change. We need to change the current type of the situation to consider the challenges we will have in the future. And the last thing I need to mention, because AI can make your learning very interesting and funny. That's why AI should actually be implemented very early in the education. So we can try to use the AI to adapt each child's learning style and the pace, and it can provide some personalized content and trying to match your interests and abilities, right? And especially, I think a lot of AI company has to doing so, to design a different kind of AI curriculum, because this curriculum can based on your level and give you the exercise based on your previous exercise or something, and this already come true. And also I think in the education, one of the most important thing is you can have very timely feedback. So in your in the very classical education classroom, so the teacher give a lectures, maybe like 1 week or maybe a month later, they give you the exams or exercise to see how you learned. But this can be done in the real time. If, for example, in the lecture room, somebody even they don't want to ask, but they have some problems. But for using the AI technology, and we can let the people have very timely feedback and can help the children to understand their mistakes in no time and trying to learn the mistake immediately. I think that's so important. And also, in my way, it's pretty interesting and effective, right? When you actually learn something, you start doing something, you got those immediately feedback. I think that is only for AI area. So for the AI age of AI, and also we can try to design some game for learning. And the basic idea is trying to transform the knowledge and the thinking to the children, but very classical way of teaching usually is kind of a boring. They don't design very how can I say? They don't have some very particular artistic design. So that's something we can be borrowed from entertainment industry. For example, like movies and games, right? We can borrow the ideas to make the to make the learning more fun. So AI can actually integrates this kind of gamification into the learning, and we can also to say movification to turn the learning into like you're watching the movie or learning or playing a game, can making the education activities into very fun games, also making learning more enjoyable. And that I think can be done in the age of AI, because that becomes much cheaper. So previously, this kind of thing needs a lot of professional and also expensive. And in the AI area, so maybe one day you can design your own agents can do the job. Even for example, you're learning the mathematics, you have some problem with the functions, maybe you can ask your AI agent to say, I don't understand what is the exponential function is. Can you design some particular game to help me to understand what the exponential is? So I think that's something is happening. And I think every kids can using this kind of idea and to learn more effectively. And the last point about interactive and engaging. And learning is a dynamic behavior. It's not like static and we're just reading from the book. So it need a lot of interactions. So I think the rich multimedia resources so far we have on the internet, but it's a kind of we need to browse ourselves, right? And AI technology can provide more easy way to access all this kind of multimedia resources, including all the videos, animations, and maybe in the future world that'll be like in the metaverse, there are different kind of multimedia information then can make the learning more interactive and enjoyable. And for example, to say in some augmented reality and also in the virtual reality, and every time you're learning something, is trying to explore a park or explore a wild space. And that can give your brain a lot of this stimulation, and you can just, I don't know, you don't need to make any big effort to remember everything. So just like you're playing a game, doing the exploration, and that can be and the learning can do in a very in a very efficient way to make you understand something very easier, right? And last thing is about the creative projects and experiments. So every time we do the physics experiments and also chemistry experiments, that's kind of expensive. And AI can do that in a digital way. I think everybody have learned something and have seen something like this. So that can enable the kids to work on the very creative projects, and you can do the virtual experiments. So that's allow them to explore and learn hands-on the projects. And for example, to say they can do different kind of sciences, even some biology and the physics and chemistry, using this AI digital technology. So I think that's the future of using the AI in education. But maybe in like 10 or 20 years, we can see some these things will come true, but maybe in different form, maybe in different styles. But I truly believe that, the AI will play a very important part in education as well as this is a different kind of social impact. So there's a lot of challenges, right? And, the challenges can, we need to break down some very complex tasks into the manageable steps. That sometimes AI can help us, but we need still the students to have like a basic training of the critical thinking and also the computational thinking to do this. And so we can using the AI to celebrate the kids' achievement and trying to provide some positive reinforcement to make them to learn in a very confident and esteem way. And also AI is a lifelong learning tools. It's not only for the young kids, but it's also for adults. And the knowledge has been accumulated so in a very tremendous way the human never seen before. And especially with the large language models, they can even generate some new contents. And when we use the large language models, we can see the limitations of the human being. And soon enough, you can see, we don't even have more books and the text to train the large models. And that needs, we can using some new ideas, just like we should not learn only about the human knowledge. We need a way to create the human knowledge. For example, if you want to learn a chess, how the chess play, right? We have some like data about the record data of how human play chesses. But things is the chessboard, they have like a bigger exploration space. But we need to explore, we need to give the AI the rule how we play the chess, and the AI can actually, trying to explore different, this is a huge spaces to give you more knowledge about the chess. Maybe they can play some move, the human never seen before. And this already happened in AlphaGo, right? AlphaGo, the first version, they were trained using some human knowledges, but the second version called AlphaZero, AlphaZero is never trained using any human moves playing the Go. So that can give us more ideas. So far, for example, the human knowledge are saved into the languages, and all the languages we say is still limited. There are different kind of a creation of using all the combination of these words. They can generate a great for example, they can generate a great novels or different kind of very insightful philosophical essays, whatever. So I think in the very soon future, we can see AI can doing something like this. They can actually generate more creative content to even lead and give the people the insight to see, this thing is never seen by human race. And this is, we can call the AI creation. And it's actually go further than so far we can see from the large models. For example, to say you ask the ChatGPT to generate an essay or to generate a particular image, you can give the description about the image. For example, to say the panda is drinking the cola in the moon or something. But this actually still have the limitation of a human mind, right? Because we are constrained by our cognition. we just imagine something, but this thing imagined still within our boundaries of our cognition. So we like the AI to do something we can see that can go further. They can do something that we never seen before. So that can lead our not only education but also the research. So I think that would be a tremendous opportunities for using the AI to do the education and the research, and hope the young kid, maybe your generation, can explore something more than that, and using the AI to make great, make AI a great tools for the future generations. And also keep in mind that, the AI may have some ethical problems. So that they need to do the way in a very human way. And yeah, I think that is something I want to share with you about the AI technology and how we can use the AI technology in education in the future, and what is the challenges we will facing in the future. I think that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Tin, for sharing your insights on how young students can embrace AI learning.
Thank you.
And just a reminder to enter our giveaway by scanning the QR code on the bottom right of the screen, and we'll be announcing the first 3 winners shortly after our Q&A with Professor Tin. So now We're excited to continue the conversation with some questions from our OneAI youth representatives, Alex and Daniel. And let's start with Daniel.
Yeah, hi. Thank you for the amazing speech, Professor Chin. I just wanted to start by asking about information cocoons. So AI algorithms are like getting increasingly precise in pushing content aligned with our interests, causing information cocoons. So for example, if I enjoy watching technology-related content, the AI algorithm would continue to push similar topics to me, which would narrow my information intake. So could you explain how algorithms personalize content based on user interest? And also, what are the specific like effects of like long-term immersion in these kind of information cocoons on independent thinking?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, this is a very good question. So first thing is that, when we do something, the algorithm can give us the recommendation in a very positive way. For example, if you want to watch the basketball, they can give you all the information about the NBA. This is a good thing, right? The thing is you mentioned, but for example, when I was trying to say is the algorithm is not either good or bad, so they don't have any moral values. Basically, they're trying to give you all the information they gave you. They're doing all the information you have to do the recommendation. So from the human point of view, is actually you can, for example, just as you mentioned about the information cocoon, and over there you can get out of it. But the thing is that's need a human to do something, but not the algorithm. So algorithm basically they give you the best recommendation. It's actually we can say this is very good for most of us. But for some students with the curiosity, it's not that good. It's bad. So we need to be aware of this situation and make ourselves to trying to explore more. And basically, for example, to say if you watch the NBA for a while, maybe you want to watch the soccer, you want to to see how the piano, the videos, whatever. So I think that's need you to realize this is the problem. This is not something we can easily to talk to the algorithm, right? And the algorithm, we cannot change that. It's, for example, if even the algorithm right now, they give you some different kind of variety information. And maybe 90% based on your recommendation, based on your information, but another 10% they give you randomly. So, and this is the I think that is not the problem of the algorithm. I think we need to be aware of this and trying to make us to see more different kind of information to get us out of this information cocoon. Yeah, hope I understand. Hope that answer your question, but this is not about the technology basically. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Professor Tini, for your insights on information cocoons and algorithms. I just have another question. So, with the rise of AI, many software engineers have lost their jobs. So, do you think it's still a good idea to major in computer science?
Well, I do think it's still a good idea to major in computer science, but you need more skills basically. I think with the AI technology, everyone should have a higher standards for calling yourself a software engineer, right? Maybe previously after 4 years learning undergraduate from the college, you can do some very basic coding and that make yourself a software engineer. But I think in the future, it is not good enough. Maybe you need to learn more like maybe 6 years after your master's degree, and you have to learn the AI technology, and also you learned how to use AI to make yourself have the skill like an architect. Yeah, so that basically, I still think this is a good idea, but I think that you are, for example, very basic knowledge of coding will not help you to develop your professional career. So that means, everybody has to learn more and everybody has to learn how to collaborate with the AI agent and to do something more creative and to be more professional than the current professionals right now. Yeah.
Thank you, Professor Tin, for your insights, and as well as our OneAI youth representatives, Alex and Daniel, for their questions. And now Alex will announce our first round of the 3 giveaway winners.
Thank you so much, Professor Chin, for your amazing insights.
Thank you.
So, your raffle winners. So the first one is Darren Zhang, the second is Eric Cheng, and the third one is Shuai Yuan. So after the conference, you'll receive an email sent to the email address that you used to sign up for the raffle with the Visa gift card code that you can use to pursue your AI curiosity. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Professor Tin. And congratulations to our 3 giveaway winners. Remember that we're going to have a second round after our second keynote speaker, so you can still keep entering the giveaway for a chance to win. Now it's my pleasure to introduce our second keynote speaker, Professor Stephen Chen. Professor Chen is a board of the International Olympiad in AI, the head coach of Team USA, a judge at the ISIF International Science and Engineering Fair, and a PhD graduate from MIT. Today, he'll be sharing learning pathways for youth in AI and competition preparation. And after his talk, he'll be joined by 2 youth AI enthusiasts, Dylan and Chenyu, for a panel discussion. So please join me in giving a warm welcome to Professor Chen.
All right, thank you so much, Hao, for your warm introduction. So now let me share my screen. Yeah. Can everyone see my share screen? Yeah.
Yeah, we can see it. Thank you.
Great. Yeah, so thank you so much for coming to this forum. So today it's my great honor to be here to share with you about my information and my insight on this very cool thing. It's about the AI Olympiad. First, let me give you the overview of the history of the AI Olympiads. Maybe many of you are familiar with other STEM Olympiads, such as math. We have the IMO, right? In US, we have MC, AMY. And people are familiar with informatics, like at the international level is IOI, and in the US it's called the USACO, right? So what about the AI Olympiad? So this is a very young Olympiad, and it was born in the last year, 2024. So if we look at the international level, in the last year, there were 2 international level AI Olympiads who were newly launched. One is called the International Olympiad in AI. Another is called the International AI Olympiads. So their abbreviations are IOAI and IAIO. So in their first editions, respectively, so IOAI was held in Bulgaria and IAIO was held in Saudi Arabia. So it's good to see that both of these 2 Olympiads will move forward. So for IOAI, in this year, it will be held in Beijing in China. And in the next year, IOAI will be held in, I think it's in which are the UAE, probably, yeah. So for IAIO, so recall that last year was held in Saudi Arabia, and this year there was no such event, but there will be the second edition in February in the next year. It will be in Slovenia. So for the US, we are lucky that we are the member of both of these 2 Olympiads. So in the past year, we participated in both. Okay, so what happens this year? So last year, because there was the first editions of those 2 international AI Olympiads, and we were notified about their existence with a very short notification time. So we didn't have too much time to roll out our own national Olympiads. So basically, we select the students by looking at people's credentials, and then we form Team USAs. But starting from this year, since we already have 1 year experience of sending a team to international AI Olympiads, so we know how to run national Olympiads. Basically, starting from this year, Team USA will be formed by asking students to participate in our own national Olympiads. So that is the only pathway for US students to be eligible to be on Team USA to participate in IOAI and IAIO. Okay? So for our Olympiad, it is organized by the organization called the USAI Olympiad, called the USAAIO. Okay? So we are managing our own AI Olympiad. It is called the USA North America AI Olympiad. I'm sorry that so this Olympiad's name is too long, right? So later I'll explain to you why we give this the name with the North America, where North America enters in this Olympiad. Okay. So basically, we use this Olympiad to the contest to select the Team USA for 2 international Olympiads. So let me give you a quick idea about our organization, USA AI Olympiad. So we are in charge of the USA North America AI Olympiad, and this is the only channel if you want to represent the US for an international AI Olympiads. Okay, And meanwhile, so we want to use this opportunity to promote education for K-12 students. What about our contest? So as I just mentioned, 2025 is our first edition. So we just finished our first round in March, and we will have our second round at MIT in the next weekend. Okay, so who are eligible to participate? We invite all K-12 students in the US and Canada to participate in this contest. So this includes both US and Canadian citizens, as well as those international students who hold other citizenship, but who are attending schools in these two North American countries. Okay. And also please note that if you are a US citizen or Canadian citizen or their permanent residents, but you are not attending the school in North America, you are still allowed to participate in this Olympiad. Okay. So you see that, so we try to include everyone from the US and Canada. So this is the reason why we call this contest the USA North America AI Olympiad. Let me give you some idea about the structure of the contest. Okay, so in every season, it consists of the following 3 rounds. So the first round is open to everyone. So everyone is able to register for it. Okay. So in this year, it was held in the last month. It was open to everyone, and we require every student to be proctored at school. Okay, you can't just say, okay, so I registered an account, I put up the computer, connect to the internet, I solve the problems at home without being proctored. That is not okay for us. Okay, and then we grade the solutions, and we invite the top scorers for the second round. And the second round this year would be next Sunday. And it will be held in person at MIT. So basically, if you qualify for the second round, then you must travel to MIT to take this round. Okay? And for the second round, because it's an in-person event, so we try to also add some additional activities beyond just having people to sit in the classroom to take the contest. For example, if you visit our website, you will see that for this round 2 contest date, so we also have the opportunity to invite MIT admissions to give our students and parents an information session to talk about the MIT, the study and the life at MIT and MIT's admissions. Okay. And after the second round, if you still do quite well, then you have a chance to be invited to be on our USAIO training camp. So this is similar to the MOP in math. It's similar to USACO training camp in informatics. Okay, so we have our own training camp. And then we'll give students some intensive lectures and ask them to solve some challenging problems. And then we'll look at their performance. And finally, we will select the top students to form Team USA. So this is our plan. Because we will participate in both IOAI and AIO. So IOAI allows every country to send 8 students, and AIO allows every country to send 4. So we will try to send the maximum number. So basically, there will be 8 students on Team USA who will travel to China for IOAI, and there will be 4 who will travel to Slovenia for IAIO. Okay. So, for the international Olympiads, this year will be their second edition. For our USA North American AI Olympiad, this is our first year, right? So before rolling out this new Olympiad, we received lots of questions, lots of queries from parents, from students. So whether it is worth for us to spend some time to participate in this Olympiad, right? So in other words, their question is whether this newly born Olympiad is valuable. Because unlike the math, AMC, or USACO, or FUSMA, right? So those competitions are there for 20, 30, 40 years. So they have already established their reputations. Everyone knows that you want to do something with math, you have to start from AMC. But what about this AI one? So let me give you some facts that will help you understand whether this newly born Olympiad is valuable. So if you look at the people's placement in the last year, so there were 8 students who were on Team USA for IOAI. So 5 of them are at MIT and 3 of them are at Stanford now. Okay? And last year we also sent 2 students to participate in IAIO, and both of them will go to Caltech to pursue their college study. Okay? The second fact is that although this is our first edition, but we have received the support from MIT to allow us to run our second round at MIT. And the third fact is that So we don't just use MIT's facility, but we will also be able to have MIT admissions officers to come to our competition and to give people information session and to talk to students and parents. And beyond receiving the support from academia, we are lucky to also get the support from industry. So, when you're doing AI, you must use GPU, right? But it's not cheap. And also in particular for our competition, we require students to use Google Colab. This is the IDE that is extremely powerful to allow you to do lots of deep learning tasks on the Google Cloud, right? So you want to use the Google's GPU, like Google Colab Pro Plus. It's not cheap. So the good thing is, so we received the support from Google that give our round 2 contestants free Google Colab Pro Plus account. So if you are the audience now, and suppose you will qualify for the second round, we will go to MIT to participate next weekend. Then you know what I'm saying, right? So you go to your Google account, you'll see that so 2 days ago, so your account automatically had 500 additional compute units. Okay, so that is the bonus that Google granted you. And beyond that, we also received the support from J Street. J Street is a company located in New York, right? So it is the finance industry. And it's sponsoring lots of other STEM Olympiads, like the math, like the informatics, physics, etc. Right? So also we are lucky enough that we received their sponsorship. And also, so we have the support from Edge AI Institute. Because for each Olympiad, so we hope to get a forum that allows people to use this to discuss their learning, their experience, and to share their questions, right? To help each other. So what about the AI community? So Edge AI Institute agrees to provide us a free forum. So everyone can register for an account for free, and everyone can post your thought, your solutions on their forum for free. Okay? So hopefully, these are the evidence that will help you better understand about the value of our Olympiad. The next question is, suppose you may be interested in participating in our Olympiad, then you must wonder what kind of the topics will be tested, right? So let me give you some idea. So first, as I mentioned, so you are required to put your solutions on Google Colab. Okay, so in Google Colab, you need to be familiar with the Markdown programming. So this is needed. And after that, our AI Olympiad emphasizes a lot on both math and coding. So you need to be strong in both of them. Okay, so we tested the math foundations. For instance, you need to know linear algebra, probability for sure, right? And also, so you need to be able to handle basic coding like the NumPy pandas, matplotlib. And after that, so you need to be able to know how to solve machine learning problems, like some supervised learning problems, how to write down and supervise the learning algorithm, how to prove their performance, how to program them, right? And beyond the basic machine learning, so in the next step, we will need to get to deep learning. For deep learning, the coding language required is PyTorch. Please note that people typically use either PyTorch or TensorFlow to do deep learning. In our AI Olympiad, we require people to use PyTorch, not TensorFlow. This is consistent with the international level Olympiad, like IOAI. Okay. And also, you need to know the deep learning foundations, such as building the multi-layer perception model, manually doing the back propagation. Okay. And then you need to know the transformers. Because we look at the modern deep learning models, like the large language models, vision transformers models, the stable diffusion model, generative AI models. So most of their foundational building block is transformers, or we call it attention model. So everyone needs to know attention model. Okay? And then we will extend our applications to the field of natural language processing, large language models. And then we will test students some skills on the graph neural network. And people need to be familiar with computer vision. And then you need to be able to handle generative AI actions. So these are the topics that are covered in our competition. What about the problem styles? So every question actually here is designed to contain multiple parts. Okay, so you have the chance to read our round 1 problems. They're available online, so you could see that. So they follow this style. And for the next week's round 2 problems, they will follow the same style. Okay, so you have different parts. There are different styles. Some parts are mathematical. For instance, you have to compute eigenvalues. You have to prove some mathematical properties of some, for instance, some transformations in AI, right? So you have to put down your solutions in the Jupyter Notebook text cells. And some parts are coding. So you need to also put down your code in Jupyter Notebook code cells. For instance, so you may be asked to build a neural network from scratch. So from the problem styles, you can see that in order to get a good score in our competition, you need to be very strong in both math and coding. So the next question is, now I'm convinced that I should consider taking this competition, then how I should prepare for it. So the first thing is the wrong perception that you should avoid. Because by talking to many people, I realized that when they say, okay, so I love AI is so cool, I need to take AI Olympiad. But they incorrectly believe that AI Olympiad just tests students the skills of using AI as the black box. It's on the application side. So basically it means that, so if I want to build the application about language processing, right? So basically I just treat the transformers, the large language models to be a black box. Then as long as I can configure the API, that's it. But that is not sufficient enough. So in our AI Olympiad, if you simply treat AI as a black box, for instance, you say, okay, so I use the machine learning model to predict something. But if I ask you which machine learning model, you say, okay, I have no idea, but I know this is called machine learning. So this is called a black box AI. This is not acceptable in our Olympiad, okay? So the correct way to look at our Olympiad is that you should always start from your first principle. What that means. So I want you to understand the fundamentals of AI, okay? So for instance, so you have a high dimensional data, right? And then you have to make some approximation. So probably you have to do the singular value decomposition. So that gives you the low rank approximation. So this is used a lot in artificial intelligence, right? For instance, so once you have the pre-trained model, you want to do the fine tuning. So you don't want to fine tune the entire matrix. It's too big. You just maybe want to approximate it, or maybe the adjustment with the low rank approximation. So how do you do it? Another example is that, so even for the most basic machine learning model, the linear regression model, right? So we have the formula of the optimizer. How that one is derived? Can you derive it from scratch? That is required. Or if you look at ensemble learning, so we have the model called AdaBoost. Of course, you can import it by simply calling the scikit-learn library without understanding how this ensemble learning algorithm works. But that is not sufficient. So you need to know the detail. You need to be able to build an AdaBoost model from scratch and interpret what you do in every step. Okay? And another thing is the transformer. So the core of transformer is the attention module, right? Can you build an attention module from scratch? So hopefully this gives you some ideas about how you think about an AI model starting from the first principle. So that is required in our AI Olympiad. Okay. The next thing is, it seems that there are lots of things that we have to learn for this Olympiad. So are there any recommended resources that you may consider to use to help us prepare for it? Yes. So there are lots of resources that you may refer to, including those that are free to those that you have to pay. For instance, so the one that is free and that is very easy to use is ChatGPT. So just to be honest, even for me, so actually I use ChatGPT a lot. Sometimes, so once there's a new model that was newly published, so I need to try to understand how it works. But sometimes you simply read the paper, there are lots of details that are missing. So how I know those missing materials? Probably I need to keep on talking to ChatGPT and get insight from ChatGPT. So while preparing for the AI Olympiad, never forget to use the ChatGPT tool. It helps you a lot to learn new topics very quickly. And also another thing is sometimes, so when the program and debug, so sometimes I'm stuck, right? So I even refer to the Google Gemini to give me some explanation, but sometimes it's not so useful. So basically I just copy and paste the snapshot of my snippet of code and send it to ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to tell me what's wrong, okay? So this is very useful. And it's free, right? Of course, so you could use the paid version, right? It's very powerful. And another resource that you may consider use is the Beaver Edge AI Institute, which is also our sponsor. So basically, they offer a very complete curriculum, starting from the fundamentals of the AI and the math and coding to the highest level course of generative AI. Okay, so you want to systematically study the AI Olympiad topics, then you may consider to go to Beaver Edge AI. Okay, so I really hope that we could get more students to participate in our AI Olympiads. And if you have any question or you have any thought, you are welcome to let us know. And here are our contacts. So we have the website and we have the email. So if you have any question, you just send us an email, and we always have staff to reply to you very quickly. Okay. And also, so we suggest you to subscribe to our newsletter. So you can find the subscription button on our website. Okay, so this is very important. It's because sometimes we make some announcement. So if you're on our email list, then you'll receive notification. You will not miss any important information. So I think that's pretty much about what I want to share with you about the AI Olympiad. Any question, any thought, any comment?
Thank you, Professor Chen, for your keynote on AI learning pathways. And as we have many participants from the US and Canada attending our conference today, I believe that Professor Chen's presentation will be extremely valuable for those interested in participating in both national and international AI Olympiads. And now we'll continue the conversation with a few questions from our youth representatives, starting with Chen Yu.
Thank you, Professor Chen. So, in your opinion, what are the most important skills or qualities for middle schoolers and high schoolers who want to learn more about AI?
Good question. So when you talk about learning more about AI, so actually this is too broad. Actually I would rather narrow it down a little bit. So suppose that you are interested, for instance, AI Olympiad. So what are the things that you need to know? I think two foundations, math and coding. So both of these are very, very important because you want to really understand some AI models. So you need to have some math background. We have seen lots of students who claim that I know AI, but they just know how to import some libraries, but they don't understand how those models work. So you can make some minor changes of those models, so they were stuck. That is not so good. So you really need to know the math behind those AI models. So, but the one thing that is a little bit embarrassing, I have to admit, is that so the math knowledge requires to learn AI actually is much higher compared to your preparation for USACO or ANC. Because for AI, so lots of models require you to know linear algebra. But that is typically beyond the scope of the high school students' math curriculum. But that is needed. So you really want to go depth into AI, then you need to know linear algebra. So that is one thing about the math foundation. And the second thing is about coding. So what kind of coding skill is needed for AI? So this is actually very different from other Olympiads, like for instance, the USACO. So that tests you C++. But here for AI, you need to basically use Python because most of AI libraries are written and built in Python. And also, so beyond that, you need to be familiar with some AI packages like the NumPy, like the PyTorch. Okay, so those are also beyond the scope of the competitive programming, the competition, and also those are beyond the scope of like the AP CS courses. But those are necessary skills that everyone needs to know. And beyond the math and coding foundations, I also want the high school or middle school students to be active in finding some application problems. Okay, so you should look around yourself and see what might be some interesting problems that I may use the AI model, AI algorithm, AI tools to solve. Okay, and then by identifying those problems, so try to use what you learned in some AI classes and to try to build some deep neural network model to find your solutions to make predictions, to make inference. And actually, by doing some hands-on projects for a bunch of times, you'll realize that actually your skills of doing AI would be improved significantly. Yeah, so those are my advices.
Thank you, Professor Chen, for your insights on important skills and qualities for learning AI. I have another question. So as you touched on earlier, one of the best ways to learn AI is through applying it with real-world projects. And as high school students, we are actively participating in innovation and scientific research. In your opinion, what constitutes good innovation and scientific research?
That's a good question. Yeah, so also we have seen a lot of students who are doing high quality research, and they use their research projects to participate in some science competitions like the like General STS. And in recent years, I've seen a growing number of projects that use AI or that try to improve the AI algorithms. So that's really good. That's amazing. So the question is of what kind of projects can be good? My sense is that first, the research question must be very interesting, must be very important. So because of as a judge, people always I had a chance to talk to a lot of judges. So they told me that so what they first look at is about the problem motivation. So why you study this problem, whether you try to address the very serious problem, and whether this problem is very fundamental is very important. So that is the first thing. And the second thing that is very important is so after identifying the problem, so they want to see your solution. Whether your solution makes any novelty, makes any new insights or new contribution. So that's also very important. So actually this is the problem I would say for some AI products that I need to point out. So we have seen some products that look to be very cool. They try to use AI to address a very important problem. So that is amazing. Unfortunately, those products that are not so appropriate for some science fairs or to get a high level awards in science fairs. Why? It is because if you look at their contribution, the contribution is very thin, it's very minimal. Because when they claim, okay, so I use the AI to solve the real world problem, but if you ask them, okay, so what kind of AI tool you use? What's your novelty in AI? They have no idea. They only say, okay, so we just feed into some AI model, some machine learning model, it's a black box. So basically that is not good. It's like, for instance, someone claims that I'm a great photographer, but you don't know about how to choose a good position, how to choose a good angle, right? So basically, you're just equipped with a high quality camera, and everything is automatically captured by the camera without your input. So that is not the research. So basically, these are the key factors. One is that, let me summarize again. One is that you need to be able to identify important and interesting problems. And the second is that you need to have some contributions in your methodology. Yeah, both are equally important. Yeah, thanks.
Okay, thank you. So I have another question. How should we as high school students select a research direction?
Good point. So how high school students select their research directions? I would say there are multiple ways. One is that you may go with your heart. So you somehow be able to identify some interesting problems. For instance, so maybe some students claim when we saw the doctor, for instance, I had to take some MRI images, right? But it turns out that the doctor was in trouble reading those images because some images were not with the high quality. So maybe suppose this is something you experience. So you may think about if there's any AI model that you could develop to try to make the better image segmentation to make it to be with the high quality to remove the noise, right? So this is one way of getting research topics. And there's a second way of getting research topics. That is, so this is particularly true for some science fields, like for instance, like astronomy, quantum physics. So maybe it's very difficult for high school students to figure out what could be the most significant astronomy problems, right? Because that's too far away from what you experience, what you observe in your daily life. So if this is the case, then maybe you need to have a rough idea to say, okay, so I love astronomy. And beyond that, probably I would suggest you to talk to some the professors, the experts in this area to ask them what might be some important problems, and they may help you identify a good research topic. Yeah, so I would suggest that both of these two approaches should be very, very effective. Yeah.
Thank you, Professor Chen.
Okay, Professor Chen, I have one more question. So there are many AI learning resources available online. Are there any particular resources that you would recommend?
Yeah, good question. So we're going to ask about what kind of resources you may use to study AI. So on my slide, recall that there's one page that lists some resources. So the one is for free, another is for, it needs to be paid, right? So the ChatGPT and Leverage AI are good resources. Beyond those resources, so you may consider some others. For instance, there's a website called medium.com, right? So people frequently post some articles there to talk about their understandings, their thought on some AI models. So maybe you could use Medium and to get some idea. That is also very, very useful. And also, so there are some universities they publish their courses on their websites. Some courses are for free, some needs to be paid. Those materials sometimes might be very useful. Yeah, but the thing is, I have to point out is that so in terms of those resources, so you may realize that so it's different from acquiring resources for other Olympiads like the physics or math. It is because other material Olympiads are very mature. For instance, for the math or physics Olympiads, so you look at the topics tested 30 years ago versus topics tested this year, so they are pretty much the same. So they are very mature the materials that you could use. But for AI, that is quite new. So let me give you one example. Let's look at the transformers model, right? So this is a very important topic that is very likely that it will be tested in our Olympia. It was very likely it's tested in the IOAI AIO, right? But is there any good textbook to study transformers? No. Why? It is because although it's extremely powerful now, everyone's heard about it, but actually it has a very young age. So it was only developed only several years ago, right? And another example is we look at the DeepSeek model, right? So DeepSeek model actually was newly launched just early this year. It's very, very new. So you can't just learn it from any textbook. So you have to refer to lots of resources to help you understand those advanced and cutting edge technologies. Yeah, so basically I just give you some examples about what kind of resources that you may use to help you study AI.
All right, thank you so much.
And once again, a big thank you to Professor Chen for sharing his inspiring keynote and offering meaningful insights on how youth can learn AI. And thank you as well to Chenyu and Dylan for their thoughtful questions. Now let's welcome Alex to announce our second round of giveaway winners.
So first of all, I'd like to thank Professor Chen again for your amazing insights on AI Olympiads. Now I will be announcing our lucky raffle winners for the final round. So the lucky winners are Dennis Yang, Legolas Jang, and Jerry Zhang. Again, after the conference, you will receive an email that you use to enter the raffle, sent with the Visa gift card code that you can use to pursue your AI curiosity. Thank you.
And congratulations again to our giveaway winners. And as Professor Chen mentioned in his presentation, as well as the Q&A, there's some resources that do require you to pay for them. So for our giveaway winners, we hope that you can take those $25 and use them towards your AI learning resources. So originally, we invited members from both the US and China IOAI teams to join us this evening. And while the US team member, who is currently a student at MIT, was excited to participate, she's attending a major conference right now and unfortunately couldn't join us this time. So we hope to welcome her again at one of our future events. That said, we're very fortunate to hear from Yechen Gong, who is a member of Team China at IOAI 2024, and he represented China and Bulgaria last August. However, he is currently participating in another competition right now and couldn't be here live. So he's prepared a video presentation to share his journey, insights, and experiences in AI learning. So let's take a look.
Hello everyone, it's an honor to be invited to the OneAI online conference. My name is Yechen Gong, you can call me James. Here to present my journey in AI. Alright, so my presentation will be divided into 3 parts: how it started, how it's going, and what's next. Before all that, I would like to introduce myself a little bit more. I've been participating in IOAI 2024, and I'm also currently serving as problem designer for numerous national and international level AI competitions. But before all that, I would like to introduce how it started for me in terms of broad concepts of STEM Olympiads. I actually started in the field of mathematics, beginning with math Olympiads as well as taking math courses that are pretty advanced. I think math Olympiads help you as a starting point to STEM Olympiads in general because their problems are more accessible. You can simply solve them using pen and paper, and they're also fun and exciting. They help you facilitate a sort of like preliminary problem-solving mindset, which we'll use in almost every other STEM Olympiad. And advanced math courses are undoubtedly also important because mathematics lie at the core of complex machine learning theories. And here I've generated a list of useful math courses, notably including calculus, linear algebra, and statistics. they provide you a pretty good foundation about understanding how AI models work. All right. I've also been participating in Olympiads in informatics, and I think they emphasize different skills. They help you enhance your code mechanics, i.e., they help you trust your code when you have to write thousands of lines for like complex problems. They also test your troubleshooting skills, and they facilitate sort of your like systematic thinking and time management skills. Because unlike math problems, which you can simply write down a few lines and that will be a solution, in OI you have to spare some time, like half an hour or 1 hour to write the actual solution, be it a brute force one or a standard one. Right. So after building these foundations in STEM in general, I've turned my attention to AI Olympiads. So I actually learned from scratch using a two-pronged approach. First one, it's theoretical, and the second one is practical. In the theoretical approach, I try to answer these two questions to the fullest: why do models work, and how can we work to improve them? And I also, taking on the second road, I've learned about how to realize code using this platform, kaggle.com/learn, in which they tell you how to implement small-scale models from scratch, and they tell you how to rigorously test the performance of these models practically. So after these foundations, I've also been largely helped by large language models. I think they are generally a great boost because they have ample background knowledge. They're probably trained on data that includes lots of conference papers on AI. So I think in terms of background knowledge, they're pretty useful, and they're also pretty flexible. It's like having a college level personal tutor that can generate challenging problems for you, and they can also generate solutions that are pretty valid. They can generate high quality beginner level code, and as they continue to improve, that adjective beginner level I think will soon be removed. Right. After learning the foundations, I've turned to finding applications, and I've gained lots of experience in my research project on the right, as well as designing algorithms for a robot in terms of like first robots competition. I think these application experiences are pretty valuable as well. They provide you with hands-on experiences on designing systems, rigorously testing them, and navigating unforeseen challenges. And it's especially true in robotics, where things are vastly different from purely theoretical work. Almost nothing functions right in the first time, but you have to consistently improve your robot and improve your algorithm and troubleshoot, fix bugs, and I think that's a valuable experience. They also help you create a positive impact if you're using robotics or AI to solve pressing real world challenges. All right. So after having completed your first research project or participating in your first FRC competition, I think keeping up with the cutting edge is also important by seeking out more research opportunities or participating in even more competitions. I think meta tools generally save a lot of time and provide much better performance, and they like significantly outperform traditional methods, and I think keeping up is pretty important. And another bonus is AI Olympiad problems also come from the frontiers, including papers from CVPR or NIPS. So definitely keep an eye on those. All right. So finally, I'd like to briefly introduce what's next. As you can tell from part 0, I've currently moved from a problem solver to a problem creator, and I think that's also a pretty valuable learning experience. I think creating problems helped me deepen the knowledge and deepen my understanding of AI in general, because they help me move from passively receiving problems to actively conceiving them. So I'm forced or prompted to rethink lots of revisit and rethink lots of theorems that I've learned in the past. Question their validity in numerous scenarios, and also create varying environments in which they work or don't work. So that's also pretty valuable. Moving on, I would like to provide a little bit of bonus. We're currently envisioning what IOEI looks like tomorrow as an established ISO. We're moving in two directions. Firstly, we're trying to improve its accessibility. AI in general is pretty unequal when it comes to research and education. Countries without ample computational resources generally do not have the capability to promote AI education to a broader public. And definitely, as you can see on the left, there's this IOEI gate initiative designed to assist these countries and territories to advance their education as well as their competition level. And moving on, I think we're also trying to define and formalize the challenge and the definition of AI Olympiad. We're currently trying to make it more robust so that it can't be easily hacked. We're trying to make it more selective. Although we're trying to make it more accessible, we're also trying to make it remain hard so that it remains, an Olympiad. We're also trying to make it insightful, so each problem is not just a fun problem that you can solve, but also provides you with valuable insights into, what is happening right now at the frontiers of AI. All right, so I think that's it. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions, you can always find me at, my email address provided here. You can also DM me at Instagram, and I'll provide you with as much knowledge, with as much advice as I can as you move forward and take on your own journeys in AI. Thanks again for listening.
Thank you to Ye Chen for his thoughtful reflections, inspiring journey, and valuable insights into learning AI and representing his country on the international stage.
Hello.
I was also fortunate to be a member competing at the International Olympiad in Artificial Intelligence last year, representing Canada. And so last summer, our team of 4 students traveled to Bulgaria to represent Canada and compete against some of the brightest young minds from around the world. We were proud to bring home a silver medal in the practical round and a bronze medal in the scientific round. It was an incredible experience, not only to compete internationally, but also to connect with students globally who share the same passion for AI. And what I found fascinating is that while kids around the world have different ways of learning AI, there's still so many shared challenges and inspirations that bring us together. My own journey in STEM and AI began in grade 4 when I got involved in robotics. Over the past 7 years, I've participated in competitions like First LEGO League, First Tech Challenge, and VEX competitions like VEX IQ and VEX Robotics Competition. And that's where my interest in coding took off. I started learning Java and C++ for these competitions, and later also picked up Python, which became especially useful as I began exploring AI more deeply. Robotics and coding gave me a strong foundation, not just for competitions like IOAI, but also for understanding how AI works in real-world applications. Similar to Yecheng, I also realized how critical math is in AI. Whether it's concepts like linear algebra, statistics, or calculus, math is everywhere when you're solving AI problems. So if you're just getting started, there are tons of great online resources out there, as Professor Chen mentioned previously. I personally found the machine learning and deep learning courses by deeplearning.ai on Coursera very helpful. They gave me a clear foundation in key concepts and showed me how theoretical ideas can apply to real AI systems. As well, if you're interested in exploring more opportunities in Canada, you can visit the IOAI Canada website. We have the Canada AI National Challenge 2025 coming up. And so if you're interested, you can participate by signing up on our website. And if you're looking for support or events to join globally, feel free to reach out to us at OneAI. We're always happy to help you get started or take your AI journey to the next level. Hearing about the IOAI experience has truly highlighted how youth from around the world are engaging with AI in meaningful and innovative ways. It's been inspiring to see how curiosity, passion, and hard work can lead to real impact. Our time together today has passed really quickly, and I'm sure we've all gained many valuable takeaways from this conference. We, as the OneAI team, hope that the insights, stories, and experiences shared today have sparked new ideas and inspiration for everyone here. Thank you all so much for spending your time with us this evening. Before we conclude, we'd like to sincerely thank all of our incredible speakers, including Professor Qin and Professor Chen, for sharing their expertise and journeys, and as well a heartfelt thank you to our sponsors and partners for supporting youth in learning AI, including Beaver Edge AI, Olympiad School, Tech Together, AI for Youth, Sister Sophie, and Northeastern University. Now, to help us close out today's event, let's hear some final reflections from our OneAI global representatives.
Thank you so much. I would like to sincerely thank our 2 guest speakers, Professor Qin and Professor Chen, for sharing their insights on AI for the next generation and also a systemic braintown on AI Olympiad. Now, as a reminder, on this slide of the presentation, you'll find a QR code that can be scanned to register as a volunteer or attendee for our workshop. The workshop will be focusing on extremely fundamental knowledge on artificial intelligence, so it actually would be encouraged for people to sign up as volunteers and not as attendees. Thanks again.
Thanks everyone for coming today, and thanks to Professor Tin and Professor Chen for sharing your expertise through the presentations. If anyone would like to explore scientific innovation with AI, sign up through email to become part of OneAI's research team and be a part of shaping the future together.
I again want to thank both Professor Chin and Chen for speaking here today. And I also want to thank everyone for listening. And I hope that you all learned some valuable things. And just as a reminder, before I leave, we're also forming an AI robotics team this year, and we'll be exploring a series of fun and a lot of innovative projects. If any of you guys are interested, you can join us by emailing us to become a part of the OneAI robotics team.
Thank you again to Professor Chin and Professor Chen for their valuable remarks today, and thank you guys for coming today. I hope that all of you learned something new about AI, and Tech Together is proud to be partnered with OneAI.
Thank you to our OneAI global team for those thoughtful reflections. If you're interested in getting involved with us at OneAI, whether it's through being a leader, volunteering, robotics, research, or more, scan the QR code on the screen to join us today. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us at our email, oneaiyouth@gmail.com. And thank you once again to everyone for attending, and we look forward to seeing you at our next event.